absolutely does not win. Vaultbreaker will just barely take him out of safety. Joining the area, but Caps dashing in at the last moment. The 5-point strike, a 1-kill strike.
I can ulti Varus, yeah? No. Look Varus. Nice. Varus dead. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. Look at me.
We're fighting top. Should be done. Nice. Get Dragons. Drag it.
Beta.
Look, I'm going.
Beta.
Guys, just dive in the
one guy mid. Let mid.
Beta. Nice.
Welcome back to the LEC. We have Caps who joined us for this interview. Congratulations on the win. Talk us through the emotions first, because that wasn't very much straightforward. It was the classic G2 up and down style. So what went wrong and then right?
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely like a lot of throwbacks back and forth. So many times we were like, okay, now the game is looking good, but then we did like a blunder or we messed up and then we threw it right back. And then that just made the game super messy. But it also made it a very fun game.
Okay, very fun game. You continue to get 2,000 kills as well. So congratulations on that. I mean, we had a graphic for it earlier, but I thought I'd let you know as well, just in case you weren't fully aware. So when we're looking at the game particularly, as you mentioned, you notice that it's not going that well, a blunder here and there. Looking towards your future games, specifically potentially in the playoffs, is there anything particularly to do within the team that you can work on and focus on to make sure that when the game stakes are a little bit higher, it might not happen?
I mean, definitely, I think a lot to learn from this game. I think they managed to pick us off on a lot of they found a lot of times where we were quite weak and we were not like covering for side lanes or times where we were walking up where we shouldn't, and they managed to pick us off. And then a few times where we overreached a bit as well in the fight. So definitely a lot of things we need to clean up, but just happy we got the win.
Well, congratulations about that once again. I want to talk about the Vlad as well in the top lane. Haven't really seen it yet. So talk us through the incorporation of Vlad in the G2 play style and as a team, how that works out. Yeah, I mean, definitely Vlad is very strong right now. I think he goes really well with our draft this game. We really want to get in on the back line. I was playing Akali as well, right? And BB saw a good opportunity for it, so he just went for it and looked pretty strong. It did, indeed. And, you know, G2 keeps looking stronger and stronger as every day goes by. Again, this time around against Fnatic, you guys once again come out on top. You're pretty heavily favored in this matchup, so how does that feel?
I mean, the Fnatic matchup is always probably the most fun of any team in EU. I think somehow the games just always end up like this, and it always feels extra good to beat them as well. So yeah, super happy with the team we played against, and hoping to meet them in the playoffs as well.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time for the interview, and we're going to be heading over to GB, who is ready with Yike, to give us a little bit of a breakdown on what happened in the jungle.
Thank you very much, Ginny. Well, let's see if we can go through some of the oopsies as well the Caps was talking about, because it was a bit back and forth as well. Yeah. So, Yike, as we roll out the clip here, I want to set the stake for what's happening before I really get into it. But it's around the Drake timer, where if we have it going here, I don't actually know if it's going to come up here. I'm told we'd be patient. Don't worry. We're going to get it in just a moment. How do you feel about this?
Feeling, I don't know.
You've had a good day so far?
Yeah, pretty good day. We won. I'm happy.
That's perfect. All right, let's get into it then. So it's a scenario where you take the second Rift, or the Rift Herald rather, and it's looking kind of good. You have top lane priority on the minimap, as we can currently see. Bot lane's decent, where they're trying to collapse down on your bottom side as well. And you can see it here, rolling out, trying to find some backs to cancels. You're going in for the Rift Herald or for the Gromp as well. But what I'm really noticing at this point in time is that you've already gotten the Rift Herald, you have a fast recall, but there's also 15 seconds for the Drake to spawn, which means you have now spent a lot of time trying to cancel the enemy backs, but it didn't work really. They still have first priority for the Drake. You're coming out late. What's the thought process for you guys here?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of greedy for a Gromp. I don't know why. I just wanted some gold. So that was kind of bad. And yeah, I'm late here. And I think we decided after this fight, I mean, we realized here that we can't really fight this way. BB tried to get a flank off and go behind them, but as you can see, he will not be in time, and Dragon is just gonna die. and then they have package and the Viult, and it just makes it very hard for us.
Yeah, so I guess the communication here is that you just want the flank on BB, but Mickey's also looking for an engage at the same time. So while Mickey goes in, BB tries to wrap all the way around, but then it just kind of falls apart here. What's the comms like in a situation like this?
We were talking about contesting it because I don't know if it was it the third dragon? I don't remember exactly, but we felt very strong. I think we thought we were stronger and we could play around the package, like maybe Mickey engages and ults on him. But yeah, we were just too late. I think it's just hard when we're late, for sure.
Yeah, so just one last question as well. Do you feel like the early game issues, even though it went kind of well here, that there's still something to work on, at least in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can always work on the early game, but overall, I think it's not as bad as people say it is. I think we're slowly just getting better and more comfortable with it. But yeah, I mean, we're hinting some early games, but also I don't think we're playing like bad, like this game, for example.
No, I think this game showed some good signs as well. I was just grabbing one critical moment, but if you walk over to the Analyst desk, there's more for you to be celebrated about. So Laure, Treatz, take it away.
Thank you, GB, and congrats, Yike. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
You can sit
Congratulations.
right here. Yeah. I think everyone said it. GB pointed it out as well. More clean game on your side, especially when it comes to the early game here. Are you happy with the improvements of the team? I asked Dylan yesterday.
Yeah, so. I'm happy with the early game, I think. I got a lot of kills and we got a dive on bot lane, so it went very well for us. And I think we got both dragons as well, we got the Herald, so it was just going well. And then, yeah, we messed up, you know, at the third dragon, I think, and then it became a bit harder.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the early game and how you set up the pace for the game, being really aggressive, always being in your jungle, maybe overstaying your welcome sometimes. But yeah, what was going through your mind and how were you communicating with the rest of the team, and why did you think it was bot lane that you needed to push here?
Yeah, so we have Varus, which like we all consider a very strong champ, so we want to play around Varus, and I think Hans is very good at communicating what he needs and what he want to do. And for example, we saw that Vi was topside. I don't know if he was doing grubs or something, but
yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was doing grubs after we killed Dragon, so we just instantly said let's die bot, and it was like very easy. So I mean, yeah, just playing around Hans when he plays Varus is just important, I think.
Yeah, when you have Varus and Nautilus, I think the setup is also obviously very easy for you as Zhao kind of to collect the kills.
Yeah.
I remember last week when you were here, you were talking about kind of the discipline in early game, and I think this was kind of a game where it went wrong again, where you were like 2-0-2, I remember, then you guys had the bot fight and then the top dive, and it was like, oh no, not again type of thing. But then after that, I think you had a good fight. But what do you think kind of in those moments? Is it just like a spur of the moment decision, or is it you guys just go for a too aggressive setup, or is there something specific that you think goes wrong?
So yeah, I think we snowballed very well, and then we started trying to do too much, and we split up. And for example, yeah, there was a bot fight with I wanted to go red buff, and bot lane tried to help, but they just walked like the wrong way, and they got engaged on, and then I just lost shutdown, and we all died. And we just keep making these mistakes where we just get caught, or like we're not walking together, and it just gets harder.
I know that it's obviously mistakes, and that you would like to have cleaner games, but when you're able to take that much risks on stage, and also always bouncing back on your feet, how much do you benefit from this? And are you actually learning from the mistakes you make? Because I don't feel like you're going to be able to take that many risks when it comes to higher stakes games, but I feel like it's good practice still.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, all this bad early games give us good practice, and I think we always talk about it. Like every day after a match, we go home, we talk about it, we reflect, and we learn a lot of stuff from it. So yeah, I think we just learn a lot, even though we mess up.
Who do you think got player of the game here?
Well, I think we all played kind of good. Like Caps got a lot of solo kills. Hans got a pentakill. I think I played pretty fine, so maybe one of us three.
Well, you quoted it. Yeah, it is Caps, indeed, key player of the game here, and you've been playing with him for more than a year now. How did your relationship change from the time you met him when you were a rookie to today, now playing together still on the Rift?
So in the beginning, of course, I was like nervous because, oh, it's Caps. I'm gonna play with Caps.
The GOAT.
Yeah, I'm playing with the GOAT mid lane of EU, so yeah, I was a bit stressed, like getting to know him and everything, but then it's Caps, so he's just a troll, you know. So it was very easy to get a good like relationship with him, and I think we have a very good like synergy together. We talk a lot, and yeah, it's very nice.
When it comes to communication and everything, I remember last year when I came a couple times watching your scrims, you were talking a lot in reviews, getting solutions, bringing solutions for the team and everything. Did your role change in that sense, or how are you guys reviewing the games? Who's speaking the most in G2? There's a lot of voices.
I think last year in the beginning I was very quiet in the reviews, and I think that was something that I had to learn and improve on, and I think I started talking more for sure this year, so I'm very happy with that. But in the reviews, I think it's a very good balance between everyone talking. I think there's no one talking too much or too little. I think it's just a good balance, and I think that's very good.
All right, we saw you play Maokai yesterday. I was scared that Dylan was going to put you on tree duty, but I'm actually surprised that it was your first Zhao game when it's been I don't want to say the most OP pick, but the one prioritized the most in the LEC so far. Why did it take so long for you guys to pick it?
I don't remember what we were playing. I guess we played a lot of Vi, and I think
yeah, mostly Vi for you.
Yeah, I like Vi. I think there was a champ I was kind of bad on last year, and I think I improved on it. So we played a lot of Vi, and I think it was good in the meta. Same with Zhao, but I think we just had to prioritizing on Vi. And yeah, now they picked Vi away from us, so I went in Zhao.
And you don't want Maokai, yeah, so there's only one champion left.
I was like, I'm not going to Maokai twice, so I just went Vi. I mean, in Zhao.
Respectable, yeah.
Safe
Thank
for
you.
today. You're one of the teams that already qualified for playoffs, of course. It is not the case of one of the teams playing next. GX is facing off against Mad Lions Koi. What do you expect? You're going to stick with us for the picks and bans, of course. Thank you so much. But what do you expect from the next game when it comes to what both teams have shown so far?
So, I mean, I for sure think MDK has the edge. I mean, they were playing good, I think, a lot of games. And I mean, of course, they have some messy games as well. But overall, I think they're actually a pretty strong team. I think them having 4 rookies and performing this well is nice. So, yeah, I would give the edge to them. But we never know. I think GIANTX is also like, it's not a bad team, of course. Like, we played versus them in the finals, and it's similar players. So, we shouldn't disrespect them, you know.
Last question. Sorry, Treatz. I'm using all the speaking time we have. You mentioned it. There are 4 rookies. You were in this rookie position last year. Did you expect them to perform so well? Because when there's so much inexperience on the Rift, I think it came as a surprise for a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure expected them to do better than what everyone else did. Because I think a lot of people were hating on them, saying they're going to be bad because 4 rookies and all of that. But I don't think that's the case. I think rookies can actually just perform. Like, I mean, I think I performed last year when I started, and I think they're performing now. So, yeah, it's impressive.
It's always hard to tell, right? Yeah. Like, sometimes I think when you have to do these power rankings, it's easier to use that as an excuse. But then obviously you get proven wrong, and you have to be like, yeah, I respect your game, MDK. You're doing well with the rookies.
And they've been playing aggressive, and we'll see if they can do it again today. Expectations when it comes to draft here. Treatz, a lot of aggression on the side of Mad Lions Koi so far, and I want to say standard draft on the side of GIANTX.
A bit more standard for sure. I think both supports have kind of been the driving forces, I would say. Elyoya played obviously the Iron, and I think he's played better on the kind of fighting champs. I think it's kind of similar to you, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think you guys both kind of pop up on the fighting champs, so I would like to see that from the side of MDK. I think GIANTX, they've been looking best when Jackies has this kind of X-Factor picks in mid lane. I think both his Azir and his Akali have been pretty solid. Bot lane, Blitzcrank, pretty good performance from both Alvaro and IgNar so far as well.
Yeah. I think Jackies was very good on Neeko actually when I saw him play it, so I'm not going to play it again, but yeah. I mean, I think Neeko is just a very strong champ, and people just keep banning it against us, so...
yeah, it's...
sad for Caps.
Yeah, he won't play it ever again. And Mickey stole it as well, so...
yeah, now we flex it, so it's there's a Neeko at least.
All right, so first pick Rumble. We know that it's an Odo classic, but there's more and more answers to the Rumble pick, it feels like, lately. And it dropped in priority as well.
I mean, especially, I think, with Nocturne and Neeko, it's kind of easy to dive the Rumble. Rumble kind of shines when he can just sit in the back and be protected and kind of just ult from a range, so I think having a lot of dive is a good start. Obviously, there's 6 bot lane bounce this draft, so bot looks pretty balanced.
Yeah, balance roll for
balance question mark.
Jackies with the LeBlanc. I assume it will be AD LeBlanc. Caps kind of cooked on that one.
Yeah, Caps smurfed yesterday, so I think people are gonna look more into it probably.
Yeah, he played very well on that, so I expect probably top lane to be picked here from Myrwn. I think there's a lot of different options you could go for.
I mean, he does like to play the off-meta champs, so like the troll champs, so maybe he's gonna do one of those. No, there. Well, there we go.
So he's famous for his Fiddlesticks top lane, actually.
I feel like he's famous for like 10 different off-meta picks.
Yeah.
He likes to cook, that's for sure, and the Fiddlesticks into Rumble. I mean, I guess the theory is you just win in melee range.
I guess.
So the thing I realized was, it's probably because when Rumble queues, Fiddle just queues him and he fears, so he turns around. So his Q doesn't do anything. So it's basically just
smart.
Yeah, I don't know what else is good, but yeah, he probably wins in melee maybe.
But then
Yeah.
you win short trades. I just don't know how it's gonna play.
I mean, I guess you
into
out-sustain him
Rumble.
in the lane,
Yeah.
right? I could easily see a situation where if Rumble gets like 1 kill, he just cooks him in a second. But I think if he's ahead on the Fiddlesticks, it might be hard for Rumble to actually like commit to kills.
I mean,
Alright.
look at the comp. They look very, very strong as well. The MDK with Nocturne, Neeko, and Fiddle. It's
Also
very
with
scary.
Fiddle ult, with Nocturne ult as well, you come out of a vision, so you get the
it's
guaranteed
hard.
fear.
I don't
So
want to play against this.
yeah, this looks pretty horrible. I think if I'm GIANTX bot lane, I'm picking safe champs and staying as far away I can from the Mad Koi comp.
Sadly, they ban away the Saya.
Yeah, Zaya's banned, so honestly I'm looking towards like Ezreal. Even though it kind of sucks, like you kind of need some long-range defense here, I would say, on the side of GIANTX.
Yeah, there's not a lot of options left, actually. Given the structure of both drafts.
Is it going to be 10
What do you
bot
wanna
lane
see?
bans,
It's actually
or?
looking like
Yeah.
10 bot lane bans. Let's see it.
I mean, it has to be, because all other roles are picked, so it's gotta be
Oh,
a
yeah.
last
Wait, but
bot
what
lane
else is
ban.
left?
Well, I feel like they banned out every champion in League of Legends. I don't know what they play
What
now.
are they gonna play?
Just topside.
You have a
PvP, perhaps?
Jhin that's available, or you want to go
Yeah.
into the weird picks of Seraphine with something else, but I don't think
That's
it can
boring.
work in either comp. Yeah.
I mean, something like the Jhin would be fine here. MF, Kai'Sa. I was thinking they have a dive comp, right? So Kai'Sa makes sense
go in.
as well.
But you need some hard engage.
I mean, now you're just defense on GIANTX. You need like an Alistar, a Braum, something like Nilah, something like Ezreal that can actually survive the
Yeah.
burst and the
Yeah.
kind of dive from Mad Lion's Koi. It's very two different styles here in draft. GIANTX kind of with the passive absorb comp, and Mad Lion's Koi with the
And they play
Omega dive.
the ultimate dive comp, yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't even mind a Taric here, even though it's not very meta. I think Taric against this comp is very solid. Because I
mean,
expect
yeah.
Alvaro to go like Rakan or Nautilus or something.
I think Tarek could be very good, actually.
Alistar is kind of easy.
That works as well,
Yeah,
I guess.
it's okay, I would say.
You want to be able to intercept what the other team is going to throw at you here. And in this dive scenario, we'll see if they lock the Alistar. Here,
Yeah.
what do you pick R5?
I mean, if I had to pick here, I'd probably just go for the Nautilus. Straightforward, kind
Safe.
of point and click. Yeah, I think that's kind of what they want in the comp. What do you think, Yike? Maybe Rakan?
Yeah, looks like it is the Rakan. I would have said it.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like a straightforward bot lane draft here. I think both teams, I think, got kind of what they wanted. Very different styles of comps here. I like what Mad Lions are trying to do here.
Yeah.
No idea how the Fiddlesticks will work out.
I
but
was about to say, how is this one going to play out? Yeah, you're one of the masters of weird compositions in the league. What do you think of this?
I think their comp is just very, very scary. I think if Fiddlesticks just survives lane, which I don't know if he will, I would assume he does, since he probably plays this a lot. So if he does that, and they get into mid-late game, it's going to be very hard for left side to play. But yeah, we will see.
Treatz, any thoughts?
I mean, a lot of
Any
side
final
lane
thoughts?
pressure as well from GIANTX. I think LeBlanc
That's
is
true.
kind of annoying to lock down for the Nocturne and the Neeko. They kind of have to be ahead to one-shot her, so two different comps. Very interesting, both comps, though.
Yeah, we'll see what the casters have to say about this as we gear up for the fourth game of the day, GX versus Mad Lions Koi. Casters, take it away.
Thank you, Laure. Well, I'm going to be honest.
What the hell's going on?
No.
What is going on?
We've accepted this now. Shout out to
Have we?
Myrwn, because no, I've accepted this now. Everything he played in Spain, he will play here in the LEC. He is one of the only players I have seen transition his champion pool so effortlessly to the big stage like this. Vamos Koi, I'm with you. We'll see if they can make it happen. The audience, they're on break right now. They'll be back.
Getting some popcorn.
Popcorn.
Getting ready. But Fiddlestick top is going to be sick. And like, I'm looking at this top side of Mad Lions Koi. I'm like, holy hell. That combo is disgusting. Like, Neeko being hidden by Nocturne was already bad enough. Then you add the literal fear demon into the top side as well.
Yep.
It's insane. I'm actually very excited to see Mad Lions Koi pull this off.
Oh boy. Level 1 action. And you know what's crazy? There's so many things. I didn't even get a chance to talk about Nilah. And I love talking about Nilah, Rob. But I'm going to save it because I just want to see how these level 1 unfolds.
You know what I'm upset about?
What?
I'm surprised that it's AP LeBlanc. AD LeBlanc has terrorized
Okay.
us for so long.
No. And
that
Cass
it's now
played it
like, oh
yesterday.
wait.
And literally, I spoke to a bunch of people after that game, and they're like, no, it should be dead. I have no idea why it's this good.
I've seen it in LPL. Like, it's still being played by Knight and people, but Jackie's gonna find Fresskowy. big trade going
Is
back.
he got the flash here? I don't think so.
But
He
will have to reset, though.
passive already gone. That's a rough start to the lane.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't sure how much damage was going to come through. Might have had to reset, but actually going to be all right. But we'll have to pop at least one, if not both of his pots. Fresskowy's going to be able to do a lot of trading here with his Qs to just try and poke this LeBlanc off. And especially in the early stages, you need to be able to walk up with the Sigil of Malice to be able to farm. So
Yeah.
you're in a bit of a rough spot here for Jackies to start things off.
Well, and to be fair, GIANTX bot lane is going to struggle in level 1 as well. They're probably, I would expect them to lose priority here just because Alistar level 1 is useless, and Nilah level 1 isn't much better unless you're against a full melee support. Rakan obviously trading autos there. Patrik going to get the better of that is the good news for the side of GX.
Yeah, I think Madeline's going to try to take this a little bit slow, though, because they did spot out with the ward that Peach started on his red buff. So know that he's on this bottom side of the map. So just going to slow push this one out, make sure that IgNar and Patrik can't hit the level 2 on the initial wave. Jackies. Got back away. Nicely from Fresskowy to try and use the clone.
Nice positioning. Just making sure that no chain can come through to try to punish there. LeBlanc is going to do damage before 2.5 items today, which is going to throw me off after the game yesterday. But might not be able to split push or be quite as annoying as the AD LeBlanc, as we now see Xin moving over. Peach on the top side of Elyoya, ready here to meet him. There it is, face first. Ready for the 1v1. Trail already down, looks to take down a few of these small wolves before contesting when it becomes landing. Does connect onto Elyoya. Smite comes out. Peach just a little bit early, and now he's lost access to the top side as well, as Fresskowy already has to push in mid. Jackie's managing to land the root. Decent damage there, but an even trade.
Much needed trade by Jackies as well to try and get some control. Fresskowy has that pot, though, so he's going to be able to heal it back up. But I think Jackie's in a bad spot. Wave is going to push out, and now free
Reaction, Fresskowy overcommitting. Peach there to punish. Flash for flash trade, yes, but Peach there for the follow-up means that it's a quick kill to the side of GX. Knock-up, interrupt there on Alvaro. Patrik stepping in, a bit more damage. I don't think they can finish this one of those slowly to commit for the dive, but the Ignite is there. Heal now coming out. Shield coming up just in time.
I mean,
so close.
I mean, Alvaro kind of playing with fire there. The fact he still had his flash, didn't commit, waited for the shield to come back up. I mean, good understanding of the champion, but I definitely would have flashed in that scenario. So nicely done by Alvaro to keep himself in check. But again, it's Madeline's Koi now losing a little bit of control on the bot side. I mean, he has to get the Ignite for the heal, so an even trade, but Alvaro is going to have to reset. In mid lane as well, Fresskowy dying off the back of that when he had so much control. It's going to be heartbreaking first for Fresskowy. Thought he'd be able to get the empowered auto onto Jackie's underneath the tower, but just couldn't quite get it.
Well, it's such a relief for Jackie's as well, because when we look at how that lane phase started, level 1 losing 70% of your health, the clone now coming out, having to use, not having to use TP, but struggling early on in terms of health trades. Feels so much better. Peach still here on the bottom side, still shadowing. Elyoya on his bottom side as well. We could see a potential 2v2 angle. Fresskowy walking up to ward, but he has the clone. So Peach is going to walk out. Will just barely be spotted by the edge of the Scryer's bloom there.
Yeah, nicely done by Madeline's Koi to spot it out. But I think at the moment it's going to be a little bit of a slow-paced game, right? You want to try and see if you can set up for these dragons, which is going to just spawn in a moment. But you want to try and get push on bot, but it's super hard for Supa and Alvaro to actually go for that. IgNar, if you're quick enough on the trigger finger, as Alvaro goes for the engager to headbutt him back out. So you're kind of playing a little bit defensive here as IgNar and Patrik, but it means that Supa and Alvaro at least should be able to continue pushing the wave and then trying to set up for Elyoya to go for this. But Elyoya's also been very consistent in looking for these early grubs, the void grubs.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he just wander back up here and try and take that off the push that Myrwn has and Fresskowy has.
Yep. And as highlighted on the desk, that's most of the interaction that you're seeing there. The second Rumble tries to use his Q, you fear him and begin draining, mitigating all the Q damage as well as healing you up. As we have a bit of engage on the bottom side onto Supa. Supa using the Ghost early on just to try to get away from this one. Patrik just continuing to auto. A bit more damage, still has access to the Jubilant Veil, but won't use it yet. Supa has to be careful about over-committing here. Another headbutt cold coming out. Supa could just be in trouble. The empowered auto is going to connect onto Alvaro, but they won't fully commit to the exchange.
IgNar went in, but I think Patrik could use both of his dashes in the trade, so wasn't actually able to follow up himself and get in range, so just gives him a little bit of a smack back as he starts to retreat from that trade. Elyoya now still on the top side. Doesn't know exactly where Peach is from what I can see. I mean, there was a ward on this bottom side, so should realize that he's at least on the top side of the map, but I don't know if they want to just full commit for this, for these Void Grubs even, just off the bit fast.
Engage again, now coming in, I think they have the angle into Supa. Supa flashing out to safety. Alvaro there to body block. Crucially getting the summoner spells, but a trade. Now on the top side. Peach stepping up here, has not been spotted yet. Waiting for a bit more damage to go down to Elyoya. 1-2, waiting for the third strike to come out. Fear still triggering. That's the equalizer as well. Fresskowy walking up, but he's relatively low. Ulti now coming in, a bit more damage, trying to lock him up. Fresskowy getting chunked away. AP LeBlanc hitting a little bit harder, but here comes the fiddle, baby. Surprise party indeed. Getting the Void grubs as well. Myrwn has joined the game.
I mean, this is insane. The fact that it brings out the Varus top yesterday, now the Fiddle in this game as well, getting the ult into the double kill. Perfect timing there for Myrwn. I mean, I thought Mad Lions Koi might have been punished there, especially as Fresskowy tried to go in and just couldn't quite get the distance, but they're able to pick it back up thanks to this Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, Fiddle looking good. The initial equalizer solid, but only hitting a single member. Fiddlesticks coming in, hitting multiple. It's going to feel good for the size of Mad Lions Koi. We take a look back at this exchange. Starts very positive for GIANTX.
I mean, Odoamne ulting there to get the damage onto Elyoya. They don't quite finish off Elyoya, which is pretty sad. It's with Fresskowy coming in with the ultimate, but Fresskowy then forced to back away. Fresskowy goes down, and then Myrwn comes in with the ultimate as well, so great timing. And this Fiddlesticks is going to start to get very quickly towards his Malignance and his Riftmaker. These are the two core items for this Fiddlesticks. And with the percentage max health damage you get, it's absolutely insane. And all these pools, every time you tick off the ultimate, spotting Malignance all over the map, it's insane the amount of damage. But Elyoya finding the Zhao.
Locking him up, follow-up is there. Shielding now coming through for Peach. Can he get back onto the tower here? Playing a bit on the edge with the wind becomes lightning. But there's no one in the area. There's no potential follow-up there. Alistar on the way. Fresskowy double chained here. IgNar stepping in, but Alvaro there to shadow. Still only level 4 for the Rakan. Crucially, Elyoya just trying to zoom his way out, trying to get out unspotted. Patrik debating. Does he want to use the ultimate cleanse now coming in? That's the apotheosis. Alvaro immediately trying to turn it back. Jubilant Veil blocking a few autos, but can't allow to turn the fight. Supa now going in. The knockup clutch from IgNar. Keep the carry alive. Supa now going to be in trouble. Surely the Kai'Sa will fall down. They're going to try to donate the kill over to Patrik, but Patrik playing with fire. Happy to just have an assist. GIANTX coming out on top in the extended exchange.
Having the extra members there, GIANTX, they had push on bot side, and it meant that Patrik and IgNar were able to roam over. Supa, late to the party, tries to save the play, but ends up just giving across a kill instead. GIANTX now, slight gold lead for themselves, but a lot of that is in the jungle. As you can see, 2 kills to the Zhao.
Yep. The one thing to be aware of is that the Mad Lions Koi composition is very switchy. Once the Nilah finishes this collector, going to be a lot of fights where she's just able to clean house if they cannot burst her down.
I'm just surprised that Mad Lions Koi went for the play. I mean, you've already got the control. You didn't have the control on bot side. Supa already got push, and then you're looking at GIANTX where they're like, hey, you're going for this invade. They can bring multiple members across. Jackie's able to go for it, so bit of an upsee from Mad Lions Koi, where traditionally they're very strong in going for these invades.
Yeah, I mean, it was super tense play overall, right? So close. I think IgNar coming in just in time with the pulverized stop and a Cathian Rain from finishing a kill. Absolutely a game of inches, but just a slight edge. GIANTX at the end of the day, as Supa and Alvaro are going to clear out a bit of this vision. Make sure at the very least that GIANTX cannot contest this one. And I will say, I'm going to call it out early. Will we see healing reduction built this game? There's a Nilah on one side, there's a Fiddle on the other. Very high value. Jackie's. Nice movement there to get away as Fiddle just continues to do what Fiddle does, which is stand in the middle of the wave, and this is not much of a surprise to Odoamne, but it does do a surprising amount of damage as the ulti will get used to push the wave in.
That's kind of disgusting. I mean, I can't imagine that Odoamne has played a lot of games of Rumble into Fiddlesticks, but
ulti now coming in for Elyoya, just trying to get down a bit of burst damage, but LeBlanc first on the roam. Myrwn immediately going to throw down the fear. Elyoya trying to back away. Great equalizer to keep the play going. Peach now looking to follow. Elyoya will get taken down. Will Myrwn be next? A bit more healing might be just what he needs. He's waiting as long as possible before he can use that cooldown. Just beginning the channel. The knockup is there. The turn is there. Fresskowy is there just in the nick of time. And I don't think they can heal. Look at it go! God damn, look at Myrwn. He just keeps doing it.
Why did he get away with this? I cannot believe that he managed to heal through that. That must have been a single-digit health bar. And then Myrwn able to just get that health just
He's
barely
got MR runes for the Rumble matchup, and it saved his life. There is no doubt in my mind.
Because this was sick. I mean, great ultimate from Odoamne. Elyoya falls off the back, and you're like, this is 3 people, but just getting that heal and Fresskowy getting the flash means that Peach can't escape from the heal.
If you complete the heal, you get so much of the cooldown back, and you get a massive chunk at the end of it.
It's not fair that he gets to walk out of that with 3/4 health.
Mad Lions
It's just not fair.
Are making LEC so fun, but they're simultaneously going to ruin solo queue for everybody. And I love that for them. Okay, GIANTX. Again, gold still very, very close. 4-4 in kills. Only a 600 gold difference between the two teams. 3 Void Grubs to Mad Lions. Koi will be balanced out now. This game is dead even.
I mean, but it's bonkers though. 3 of those kills going over towards Myrwn. Malignant is now completed. Dark Seal completed for this Fiddlesticks as well. Myrwn hiding over the wall. They want to try and make the play as soon as Patrik comes up here.
Patrik. Oh, buddy. You are not going to like this surprise.
Oh,
no,
spotted.
he spotted him. That's crucial.
Is
no,
it?
he did.
Is it?
He did.
Is it?
He does not like the surprise. But he will make it out. So, actually, not bad value. Elyoya ult?
That's what I was questioning. I thought he'd ult for the kill. I mean, you've no flash,
Well,
no cleanse. He could have finished him off.
There were some issues with stuff updating earlier today, so I won't say
fair.
with 100%
Maybe, yeah.
confidence that that ulti is available, but as it was used immediately in the previous play, and it's quite a long cooldown early on.
That is fair. Maybe it's just it's not quite up. But still, I mean, I like the idea here from Myrwn trying to use the fact that you've got that advantage. And I think it's also a good read from, I mean, good homework, I should say, from Mad Lions Koi. Oftentimes when you see the Void Grubs taken or the Rift Herald taken, GIANTX will rotate their bot lane up to secure it and then keep Patrik on that top side. So I think it's just a good read from Mad Lions Koi to go for that play, expecting Patrik to be there.
Yeah, and they do get the cleanse, and I think it's important to note that Elyoya also could have the ult up and holds it because he doesn't have experimental hexsplit yet. He wants that ultimate haste before he burns that cooldown, so obviously if you burn it first and then you get the haste is worthless for the next rotation of ultimate. So, Mad Lions Koi, do they feel confident enough to go for the setup here? First Drake of the game.
It will get a little bit risky for GIANTX though if they end up continuing to make these sort of plays. Like, I think now you're fine, right?
Yep.
You can see that Mad Lions Koi aren't really in a position to go for it. But if you end up caught in between where Dragon Pit is, and you've got like Myrwn coming in from one side, Fresskowy from another, Elyoya coming in with the ultimate, and they're able to find these big engage, it's going to become very, very difficult to try and set up. So for GIANTX, making sure you've got that vision control deep onto the side of Mad Lions Koi before you start up these dragons is going to be really crucial to spot out what they're going for.
Alvaro immediately going to cancel the base of Patrik, just a bit of lingering vision as that ward fades away. So slows it down a bit. And I think it is a good call out because against Nocturne compositions, we talk about this a decent amount, and it's you need to be super coordinated. You need to make a call as soon as the Nocturne ult goes down. TPs have to come out perfectly if you want to try to TP before that duration goes in, because there is a small window. And the question is, GIANTX, new members, are they going to have that level of coordination in the clutch? Because the best thing about this Mad Lions Koi lineup, while they have surpassed certainly a lot of expectations, is they have kept so much of the synergy and the team play that made them so successful domestically in the Super League Orange.
And that's the thing, it's one of the things GIANTX has struggled with is getting that vision, playing around these objectives in the mid-game, setting up waves correctly, and if that's going to be the case, that's where Mad Lions Koi can try and strike. At the moment though, GIANTX have pushing mid, they've got control over top side, so they're fine to go for this. You just have to be careful again. That's why you can see vision at the back of the pit to try and spot out Myrwn, but might not be enough at the moment.
Bit of vision over the wall, trying to play respectfully away from the Fiddlesticks, looks like. They're aware of the potential angles of attack. Eye exposed, getting lower. Elyoya maybe happy to just walk up and try to get the 50-50, but 50-50 going in favor of GIANTX. Quick double dash in from LeBlanc to secure the eye as well, and Mad Lions Koi coming just for a spectator, Herald.
And I just want to point out, while we got a bit of time here, a quick Fiddlesticks mechanic that's probably going to be very crucial whenever we see Myrwn with Flash. So the way Fiddlesticks work is, if it's the first time you see him using an ability where he's out of vision, you get the fear, right?
Yep.
But there is a very brief window where Myrwn, even if he's not in range of you with the ultimate, can flash and actually still get, even though he's in vision when he flashes, still get the passive fear off. So you're probably going to see maybe some funky ones with that from Fiddlesticks, but just be aware that that is a mechanic that you can still get.
It's like the Rengar flash out of bush leap thing.
Exactly,
It used to be very prevalent, very similar to this brief, tiny window, but something we'll keep our eyes out for. Also a reminder, Nocturne E, the movement speed steroid is to any feared target. It's not just the people hit by the chains, hit by the tether there. So if you're Patrik and you get caught out, if you're Jackie's and you get caught out by a piece of CC, you will drop very quickly.
And they're going to chase you down very quickly. And they may even chase down IgNar very quickly here, as he will be spotted in River. You can see you had Fresskowy starting to lean down towards his bottom side as well. I'm kind of surprised they're leaving Patrik on his own to free farm so much. I thought they would try and take advantage of, the Nilah passive, but he's been very much on his lonesome, and IgNar hasn't been around him a huge amount.
And we did get to see the Nilah passive take a lot of effect early on, where IgNar was level 6 and Alvaro was only level 4.
But 6 to 7 now as well.
Yeah, 6 to 7 now. That's a slight difference. I think it is balancing out, as you highlighted, because Patrik is spending so much time alone. But the nice thing in general is Jackie's starting to step up here. Double dash, chain won't connect. Mad Lions Koi just trying to take control of the river here. Peach ready to fall. Flash in, the knock up there onto Supa. Instant charm coming out from Alvaro, going right back over the wall. Nice positioning coming through. Peach gonna follow up. Excellent equalizer on the backside. Supa just barely able to make it out of safety. Jackies won't be able to clean this one up. Mad Lions Koi escaping, but burning so many sums.
Fresskowy isn't out though. He has to get back to tower. Will spot it with the clone. Jackies misses on the chain. IgNar doesn't have the ultimate available. I don't think they can go for the dive here, but maybe need a TP here from Myrwn. I think Myrwn might need to help him.
Myrwn pushing in the bottom lane. Fiddlesticks not a big threat to towers, but it is still the TP coming through, but the tower might just get knocked down before he can get in. Paranoia now coming in. Fiddlesticks able to get there just in time. Elyoya on the way. Paranoia has been used, but the Fiddlesticks knocked up and taken down. Huge shutdown. Patrik happy to have the money. Mad Lions Koi overconfident. Here comes charge round 2. It's just about to hit Alvaro. Crucially, the smite is there to deny Peach access. The root, however, will not connect.
Myrwn's ultimate got interrupted by IgNar, so late on the TP means the tower falls, so Myrwn not able to try and get as much damage off, and now it's actually Odoamne who's able to get down to this bot lane to make sure that he's able to get this tower, so really nice job here from GIANTX. This has kind of been one of the plays they go for a lot in the mid game. Worked out super well from them in week 1, but hasn't been able to find much success as of late. But in this game, that was a big swing for GIANTX.
Definitely was. Shut down in the Fiddlesticks, nice to have. Good proactive setup there. Supa has to be careful. The chain connects. Feels like a death sentence. Patrik is already on the way. Double dashes should be up and available. Flash forward, dash, Jubilant Veil as well, just to make sure that Jackies is protected. Nilah's starting to get big, and that is going to be a problem. So much sustain on this champion. If you do not instantly take her out of a fight, she will take over.
I think it is going to be hard for Patrik to operate in team fights, though, if Mad Lions Koi are able to set up the team fight like they want with Fresskowy into Myrwn, into Elyoya. Patrik very quickly becomes a target with very little he can do because he is going to be melee range. So I think Patrik is going to have to be very careful how he plays out these team fights to make sure that he's not in a position where even, I mean, a charm from Alvaro could cost him his life.
Yeah. And while normally, like, you could look at the potential 1-3-1 setup for the side of GIANTX, obviously LeBlanc is going to do really well in that context, but because Mad Lions Koi have a Nocturne, the potential of that semi-global to punish if Jackie's overcommits, it makes the setup a lot harder, you know, for the side of GIANTX. Makes it a little bit trickier to navigate. For now, the gold, again, dead even. It's just the 2 Drakes, really, the only solid advantage for the side of GIANTX.
But I think that is something that they can leverage. I think if you try and play for, hey, let's not go for this 3rd dragon because Mad Lions Koi definitely want us all grouped up together. Well, let's try and play 4 sides where we can actually have Jackie's push up and have Peach shadow him. So then if Elyoya tries to come along, I think you can actually win out in a 2v2 in certain scenarios, especially with like 3 kills on towards the Xin Zhao. Jackie's going to be able to dodge away from some of the damage from Fresskowy. So I think you have options here from GIANTX to try and play this one out. But it's not a huge amount of a gold difference. As you say, like 400 gold, yep. Mad Lions Koi are definitely still in this, especially if they can get this mid lane tower down. Controlling deep vision is so important.
Knock up there on IgNar. They are going to be able to get out his ultimate. Big for the fight to come. Wind becomes lightning. Elyoya quick on the spell shield there, but it doesn't connect. Ward's going to get cleared out. Such a tense exchange of cooldowns. Fresskowy just trying to roll up. Mid lane tower will get broken, though. That frees up so many more angles again for the Fiddlesticks and Nocturne to try to attack.
Odo's on his own. GIANTX are trying to see if they can catch Mad Lions Koi as they start to move down, but Odo needs to immediately go for the reset. You could see he was mega aware that Mad Lions Koi were on their way down.
Turbo aware, some would say.
Hyper aware.
Giga aware.
I'm running out of words.
Adjective aware. Alvaro playing with fire. Full play here. Wind becomes lightning. Very long ability name. Inconvenient to say sometimes, but that's the big spear poke. Peach could be in trouble. IgNar, no ultimate, gonna wait for Celestial opposition to fade away and instantly find the kill. Clean pick from Mad Lions Koi, but now they want to turn it back because Odo is here with the equalizer. Ulti now coming in, Elyoya trying to get out of that one, but he will instantly burn down. TP coming in, Myrwn over the wall, a nice sneaky Fiddlesticks, but he has been spotted. It'll deny the potential for the ult to get the fear, but here comes Fiddle! Jackie's not gonna find the angle, shut down for Supa, the AD carry, untouched, all that CC, all that setup, buying him space. The clone going to be the target. Mad Lions Koi backing away, getting so much in the jungle there. 2-for-1 trade in their favor.
Huge fight. I didn't think Myrwn would be able to get in properly there, but actually did a fantastic job of just being able to follow up on Fresskowy's engage. And just like that, everyone on GIANTX disappears off of the face of Summoner's Rift. Really good fight for the Mad Lions Koi.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you look at the execution there, you gotta love that they're always fishing for these picks. They're always trying to make proactive plays in this Mad Lions Koi lineup.
Yeah, I mean, look, you'll see it here as we start to roll into it. So they get the pick immediately. Peach ends up trying to follow up. Odoamne's ult not great, but Elyoya has to go over it anyway to try and make the big play. But watch as we start to roll into this. Fresskowy gets the big ult. As Myrwn comes in, look at the amount of pools that start to appear on the ground because you're hitting onto multiple people with this ultimate. Basically, its own style of Rumble ultimate, not quite as strong, but you're getting the magic resist debuff onto multiple people. You're getting the damage tick onto multiple people. It's so incredibly strong. And even Storm Surge, actually, I thought it'd be Riftmaker, but Storm Surge for Myrwn as well. It's going to make him even more threatening.
And I think the big thing there is not the burst damage, it's the movement speed. You can stay on top of your targets when you all wait for the perfect position to throw down that W to get that additional sustain. And yeah, Fiddlesticks top looking pretty solid. It's the line of the Rumble Ult versus the circle of the Fiddle. And I'm just going to say circles, they're easier. They just simpler to execute with.
Very true. I mean, look, if I learn anything from Venn diagrams and maths, it's circles are the way forward. But I gotta say,
if I remember anything from the geometry class I took 13 years ago, then for sure, yeah, that's what I remember. Circles, lines, geometry.
Bears, oh my.
Stay in school. That's the reminder. Pray no one asks you to do geometry in your adult life. They won't, because it's not super practical, but hey.
I did remember asking my teacher what our Venn diagrams used for, and she said to pass this exam. And then that was it.
That's an honest teacher.
Yeah, I appreciate her. Shout
I
out
would
Miss
have,
Riley.
algebra, great. Trigonometry, fine. Calculus, sure, whatever. Taxes, someone teach me, please? 30, no one taught me? Bit concerning. That's all I'll say. Education systems. Probably not the time or place to have that topic of discussion, especially because I'm American and this is a European broadcast, so I don't know what the overlap is. Anyway,
Maybe there's a Venn diagram somewhere there. Bring it back.
Somewhere. Someone bring the Venn diagram up. It's still dead even. The games today are great, but as a result, we're getting some long, tense, back-and-forth games. Terminus second item coming in for Supa. Haven't seen too many bot lane Kai'Sas, but definitely going to offer a lot more pen there.
So this is just pure bait. All they want is an opportunity for Myrwn to come in. That exactly.
This is so 5-head. I love it.
They
think they're safe.
But they need to actually push forward enough for Myrwn to get in range. And right now, they're not quite doing that. Jackie's going to pop in here, see if he can spot Myrwn hiding in the bush.
He
says
can.
hello.
He's going to heal up the damage, but now he needs to get away. He's already burned. Fear now coming in. They just want to burn this Fiddle, and he should just drop right as the fight begins. Trying desperately to survive, but they don't quite have enough damage. Fresskowy with the multi-man ultimate, but Excel starting to barrel through. Eyes on Patrik. Apotheosis, where can it go? Peach now stepping in. Patrik ready for the follow-up. GIANTX taking over. Apotheosis there. Doesn't even need it. Double kill coming through from Peach, and GIANTX so quick to collapse on the flank.
GIANTX with the giant brains. They don't fall for the trick that Madline's Koi have. Immediately, Jackie's is on the hunt for Myrwn, finds him, and GIANTX, they just get the Baron off the back. I mean, you could see they were so slow in making sure they weren't putting themselves in a position where they could all be jumped on, and the second they spot Myrwn, great ultimate from Odoamne, over a fantastic engage from IgNar, and then it's just simple chase down. And there's so little that you can do here as Mad Lions Koi. You've already committed to being in that area to try and set up this play, and now you don't get it off the back of it.
I love Lothar reactions. Can someone please just make me a Lothar reaction like fan cam? That man is passionate. He's been with Giants forever. All right, GIANTX in control. Finally getting that big gold advantage. You can see is paying off as Jack is able to do a lot of work. Storm Surge proc coming in, not quite enough to finish the kill. And I think when we talk about the compositions, it does feel like what GIANTX have is just a little bit more reliable. So much of Mad Lions Koi composition is the setup with these Fiddlesticks ults. And kind of similar to Gnar in a way, it's very telegraphed. If you spot the flank, there's a lot of tools you have to just avoid it completely.
But similar to Gnar, it's like one moment and this game can turn on its head. Yeah. If you get that one perfect engage, it can all go sideways. So GIANTX still have to be very careful in how they're setting up. And at the moment, they're doing a good job, right? They're not pushing too far forward. They're hyper aware that they have to play around the Fiddlesticks, put down the vision, and having Jackies with the opportunity to do a lot of that, I think is wonderful. Especially as you see him like pop in over a wall, put down a pink ward to make sure that he's fine, and just spot out any of these flank opportunities. Yep. And oh, well, never mind. I was about to say nether than the base is the problem, but that's a TP right in behind them.
From behind.
It's spotted.
Fear. They haven't seen him. Of course, this is the setup. They can't see him, so he gets the Fear. Instantly jumping in. The follow-up was right there. It's a clean wombo combo, and everybody goes going pop on the side of GIANTX. Mad Lions Koi fishing for the follow-up. Now gonna get a little bit more. Supa is there, but Jackie's is ready to respond. That's one taken out. Jackie's is so damn strong. Turning the play right back, keeping things even. IgNar will fall down. It's gonna be a 3-for-1 exchange in favor of Mad Lions Koi, stopping that Baron push in its tracks.
And there was a ward that came down, a blue ward, right on top of Myrwn as he went for the play. We'll see it, but it doesn't matter because as that ward goes down, Then the darkness comes in, they lose complete track of Myrwn, just goes straight over the wall, and with a follow-up with the flash from Fresskowy, it's easy pickings, and that's exactly what we're just saying for GIANTX. If you haven't done everything to keep yourself safe from this Fiddlesticks, some way, somehow, he will find you.
Yeah, most certainly. And like the beautiful part of this combination is just the fact that Nocturne forces you to be nearsighted means you can, to a certain degree, always guarantee that fear if the side of GIANTX isn't instantly jumping on the Fiddlesticks. And you see there, 3.7k damage just from that ult, only hitting really 2 people.
And I'm super impressed by Mad Lions Koi, because not only do you have to be willing to give Myrwn the opportunity to bring out these picks, but also have to practice with them, right? And I mean, the fact that you've got the Varus that came in yesterday, which was an Ivor in a very different style, I'm going to hold on to this point, though, as we're posturing in the mid lane.
No. Alvaro stepping back. Battle dance to safety, grand entrance, grand exit.
More preposterous than posturing, too said. That would have said way better if I didn't just stumble over everything.
That would have said way better, I agree. Yeah. It's fine, it's a long day, man.
Just it's a long
This is
day. Game 2 for me. You're on 4.
Yeah, and the first 2 were like 50 minutes each. It's interesting. But you can understand why. I mean, the big thing is it's the final week, and we talk about what Mad Lions Koi are playing for. It's top 4. And if you're unfamiliar with their format, 1-2 really going to pick their opposition. 3-4, you're safe from being picked by 1-2. And as good as Mad Lions Koi are, why take your chances on one of the top teams in round 1? You want easier competition. You want to go as far as possible. Yes, if you want to be the best, you eventually have to beat everybody, but we didn't have to beat IG to win MSI, so I'm just saying we can't really point fingers. You know, you got to take the wins where you can get them. You want the most optimal path you can get, and you want to, you know, play this out as clean as possible, even if you have made top 8 already.
As well, that 3-4, I'm pretty sure, end up on the opposite side of the bracket to 1 and 2, which is perfect as well. So I think there's a lot to play for in trying to get to that top spot. And for Mad Lions Koi, that is a huge win. But as you say, for GIANTX, huge amount of this is kind of just playing for glory a little bit against Mad Lions Koi, because more of their season depends on that game against Rogue tomorrow.
It's the Rogue game.
Yeah,
like,
it's just
the
that
game.
Yeah.
This is the Rogue versus GIANTX waiting room, which feels weird to say, but that's where we're at from a standings perspective. Does not take away from how exciting this game has been. That said, only one person on Mad Lions Koi gets to have a cool scoreline right now. It is Myrwn. Everyone else 1-3, 2-3, 6-2 Fiddlesticks. Looking strong. But it's Peach on the side of GIANTX who's doing so much work alongside Jackie's. Jackie's, you know, some good games on Neeko. Good to see him find success on other champions as well. LeBlanc obviously a solo queue terror, but transitioning that pressure very well into stage games. And now the setup for GIANTX. 2 Drakes, no soul point, but can start to work towards that Hex-Tech soul if they're able to take this one. Mad Lions Koi, do they really want to risk the counter punch on Baron? Should be a pretty easy Hex-Tech rush down from the side of GIANTX if they want to force it.
Yeah, I don't like trying to play into this area, though, because you're going in blind, and that could set up beautifully for Myrwn.
Fresskowy's a melee minion, but they just want to try to cut down Supa. He's barely able to make it out of that one. They should just cut him down. Patrik there with the follow-up. That's 2 quick kills. Elyoya gonna run out. GIANTX recognizing their own power, not letting Mad Lions Koi just posture.
I was going to say, you can try and play for Myrwn, but Myrwn was still pushing top and hadn't roamed in towards mid. I thought at that stage he would just abandon top wave and try and play for the rest of his team, because that positioning where GIANTX are coming into you blind is perfect, but with Myrwn showing on the top side, GIANTX were like, screw it. We're perfectly happy to make this play, and it pays dividends for them now. They get control over the dragon as well, and I think a massive fumble from Mad Lions Koi.
I think that GIANTX also just great recognition of what it is that makes Mad Lions Koi strong, and it really is this Nocturne Fiddlesticks combo. You see Fiddlesticks somewhere else on the map, you know you can just get aggressive, you can force these plays, because the only counterplay they have is bringing out the Neeko ult. But when you start with Peach instantly going in, following up with Odo, Patrik hasn't burned a single cooldown and gets to wander into the fight, you're going to have a great time. It's going to work out swimmingly for you, as it has here, but not going to result in too much more than setting them on the soul point, setting them up for a greater advantage later. But they're continuing to extend their gold lead. 5k in their favor. If Mad Lions Koi can't find a bigger advantage than just a scrappy fight where they come out with an extra kill, this game's going to fall away from them.
Yeah, they really need Myrwn to try and be part of the squad, and they're trying to split the map at the moment and try and get them to play in, but Myrwn showing on the top wave means GIANTX are perfectly happy to go, cool, we can start to take this side of River and just put down little bits of vision. Mad Lions Koi starting up again onto this. Myrwn trying to look for a flank angle, but will be spotted.
Ooh, Fresskowy potentially a little over-eager there to reveal that it's actually the Neeko. They're being bullied away. And while the engage from Fiddlesticks is terrifying, Patrik is also getting stronger and stronger. There's a wave in mid lane that's pushing in. Odoamne can start to push that. GIANTX are ahead in tempo right now. Mad Lions Koi are losing out just by being here, just by threatening this Baron. Immediately they're going in onto Myrwn. They know that they have the advantage if they can just force this kill onto Fiddle. Ulti coming out. Myrwn trying to get to safety. Nice charm to get him out. He just needs to get into the bush. Apotheosis coming in. He's trying to heal as much as he possibly can, but Patrik is tearing through the entire team. Nilah finally unleashed on the backside. Jackie's doing work onto Fresskowy, and GIANTX taking over. Supa dashing back. Supa wants to make the difference, but it's not enough.
GIANTX refuse to take the bait. They push Mad Lions Koi back. They push them back to their base, and now they're just going to crack open the towers. Mad Lions Koi are scrambling to try and make this composition work.
They certainly are. And again, credit to GIANTX. We talked about it. They needed to be coordinated. They needed to be disciplined. Mad Lions Koi caught them out once or twice, but now GIANTX are poised to end the game. Alvaro just going to get the lead. They will not let him kill this cannon minion. They just want to keep tanking those towers to make sure the backdoor bonus does not come up. They're shredding the objectives. GIANTX, it all comes down to the matchup versus Rogue, but they're looking damn good as they take down Mad Lions Koi.
Mad Lions Koi falling against GIANTX. An incredible performance. I mean, the fact they even had the triple blue wards to try and spot at all these different angles of attack that Myrwn can try and go for, consistently keeping their eyes on the Fiddlesticks. What looked like a good start for Mad Lions Koi was quickly decimated by this squad.
Yeah, again, great game from Peach. And despite some of those initial plays where they overestimated their damage or underestimated the Fiddlesticks healing, and it looked like it might start to fall away from them, they realized, Myrwn is a fed member of the enemy team. They shut him down so consistently across fights and just didn't give that opportunity for Mad Lions Koi to leverage their composition. Once they were fully ready to deal with what it dealt, or deal with what it did, a great game from GIANTX. Of course, you can vote for your key player of the game at LEC on X. Peach, Patrik, or IgNar. I'm a believer in Peach this particular time around. So aggressive, jumped in on the start of those plays every time. Looked good overall. But for now, we're going to head to a quick break. When we return, an interview with the victorious Jackies.